Lovely. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Unitarian Church in New Bedford. I am Reverend Karen LeBlanc. I minister to this congregation as we minister to each other. I'm going to be talking about why that's important later. We are a beloved community of people who believe that everyone is worthy of respect, that science is real, that the democratic process is a sacred thing, and that we are all part of an interconnected web, and that the light and energy that we send out makes a difference in this world. We are people of purpose here, and everyone is welcome in this sanctuary. If what you hear today resonates with you, we hope you will consider becoming part of this way cool family of seekers and keepers of this long dream. And we got 9 new keepers of this dream coming in today. Yes, so excited about that. Couple quick housekeeping notes. These lovely flowers today were given by Larry in honor of our new members. So thanks, Larry. They're beautiful. Yes, indeed. We have 6 new hearing assistance devices that are ready to go with headphones and fresh batteries, and they're in the back if you need them. That's big. We were running on 2 for a while. Now we have 8. If you are new here and you would like more information, please fill out this blue card, give it to the usher, and that will put you on our newsletter email list. Let's see what else. We are live streaming as usual today, so please keep that in mind. Join us for coffee hour after the service, and if you would be so kind to put your phones in worship mode, we will begin by lighting our chalice. Who would like to light the chalice today? Brode, come on up. Brody gets about half an inch taller every day now. His parents hang him upside down. That's the secret. Thank you. The chalice lighting words are from Oberlin Unitarian Universalist Fellowship that they wrote. We light this chalice to find inner peace, love for each other, and faith in ourselves. Also to be welcoming to whomever we meet and kind to all living creatures. So gather around this light of hope as we share this time together. And our brief opening words this morning are from John Quincy Adams. He says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Don't forget that. It's going to come up again later too. So now, if you will stand if you are willing and able, and join me in singing hymn number 131, 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has trod us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Now, if you will all take the time to say good morning to one another, say hello. And you can stay standing for just a moment as you return to your seats. And we're going to read our covenant together, which is printed in your order of service. We come together as a religious community, upholding freedom of conscience, right relationship, and the inherent worth of all people. We value our diversity and pledge to care for one another in the spirit of compassion, to speak and listen to each other with respect, and to promote justice and kindness in the world. Please be seated. I am sorry we are going to skip Candles of Joy and Concern today because we've got a lot to cover, but if there's anything really pressing and important that anyone needs to share, just stand up right now. What is it, Eli?
I love you too, Karen. Saturday, May 6th, Autumn Cole Jones is coming down here for our workshop on the 8th principle. We'll be communicating with all of you starting tomorrow to decide whether or not you want to individually come to church and view the workshop in Parish Hall, or whether you want to do it on Zoom. It's a hybrid thing, and Tony Ann is going to be our Zoom master for all that. All right?
Thank you. And also say a prayer for Nancy Crosby. She is out of the hospital. She is recovering, not home yet, but she is going to be fine.
Hi, everybody. If you're new here, my name's Mari. I'm a teacher with the Way Cool Sunday School. So this week, we're going to be thinking a little bit about caring for the earth. Yesterday was Earth Day, and anybody that knows me personally knows that every day is Earth Day for me. Like, it is something I'm very passionate about. So Yasmin chose this little reading for me to share with you today. We don't have the physical book, so there's no pretty pictures for you, but hopefully I can still make it just as engaging. It's called Partners by Mark Gilman, and it's found in the book, Does God Have a Big Toe? Before there was anything, there was God, a few angels, and a huge swirling glob of rocks and water with no place to go. The angels asked God, "Why don't you clean up this mess?" So God collected the rocks from the huge swirling glob, and he put them together in clumps and said, "Some of these clumps of rocks will be planets, and some will be stars, and some of these rocks will be just rocks." Then God collected water from the huge swirling glob and put it together in pools of water and said, "Some of these pools will be of water will be oceans, and some will be clouds, and some of this water will be just water." Then the angel said, "Well, God, it's neater now, but is it finished?" And God answered, "Nope." So on some of the rocks, God placed growing things and creeping things and things that only God knows what they are. And when God had done all this, the angels asked God, "Is the world finished now?" And God answered, "Nope." God made a man and a woman from some of the water and stardust and said to them, "I'm tired now. Please finish up the world for me. Really, it's almost done." But the man and the woman said, "We can't finish the world alone. You have the plans, and we're too little." "You are big enough," God answered them. "But I agree to this. If you keep trying to finish the world, I will be your partner." The man and the woman asked, "What's a partner?" And God answered, "A partner is someone you work with on big things that neither of you can do alone. If you have a partner, it means that you can never give up because your partner is depending on you. On the days I think I am not doing enough, on the days you think I am not doing enough, and on the days I think you are not doing enough, even on those days, we are still partners, and we must not stop trying to finish the world. That's the deal." And so they all agreed to that deal. Then the angels asked God, "Is the world finished yet?" And God answered, "I don't know. Go ask my partners." Thank you. Oh, I'll just share. The children they have a choice today what they want to do. We're either going to go out in the community and clean up trash, or we're going to plant some seeds. So we'll see.
Thank you. That was a great story. Good job, Maury. All right, kids, you want to go on to Sunday school of the way cool variety? Have fun. All right, and we've got centering music. That's right. If you will join me now in our responsive reading, which is in your order of service, I will say the plain type if you will answer with the bold. This is from Dana Warsnop. Often people say that they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. I know just what they're getting at, and I know that they aren't getting it quite right. I want to be in a beloved community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation. I want to be with people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, though they have different thoughts and opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be with independent-minded people of good heart. I want to be with people who see me in my goodness and dignity, who also see my failings and foibles, and who still love me. I want to be with people who feel their independence and I want to be with people who see life as a paradox and don't always rush to resolve it. I want to be with I want to be with people who let church call them into a different way of being in the world. I want to be with people who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit. I want to be with people who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts. I want to be with people like you too. Okay, my friends, let us enter now into the spirit of prayer and meditation. I have a real nice one for today from John O'Donohue, one of my favorites. It's called For a New Home, because this church is like a home to many of us, and I really like this poem. May this house shelter your life. When you come in home here, may all the weight of the world fall from your shoulders. May your heart be tranquil here, blessed by the peace that the world cannot give. May this home be a lucky place where the graces of your life's desires always find the pathway to your door. May nothing destructive ever cross your threshold. May this be a safe place, full of understanding and acceptance, where you can be as you are without the need of any mask or pretense or image. May this home be a place of discovery, where the possibilities that sleep in the clay of your soul can emerge to deepen and refine your vision for all that is yet to come to birth. May it be a house of courage, where healing and growth are loved, where dignity and forgiveness prevail, a home where patience of spirit is prized, and the sight of the destination is never lost. Though the journey may be difficult and slow, may there be great delight around this hearth. May it be a house of welcome for the broken and diminished. May you have the eyes to see that no visitor arrives without a gift, and no guest leaves this house without a blessing. Amen. piece of music. Whew. That one went right to your soul, didn't it? Well, let me get all my papers here and come downstairs. It is.
So, what a joyous day. I, the President of the Board of Trustees, Steve Carmel, get to welcome all our new members to the church here at the First Unitarian New Bedford. And I hope that you will find what you're seeking, as I have, in this beloved community.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. Membership in a spiritual community means sharing yourself with others as yourself grows and changes. It means supporting each other in our individual and collective pursuit of truth. And here, it means being keepers of a long dream. Here in this church, human beings have gathered for centuries, seeking a higher purpose and a deeper life than they could find alone. So as we have done happily over and over again, we welcome new members into this congregation today. The relationships we form in our church are based on the needs of the soul, needs that render each of us vulnerable and therefore reliant on each other's grace and goodness and generosity of spirit. As members of this church, we pledge to be guardians of each other's spirit and to respect the ultimate privacy of each other's human struggle. We are keepers of this long dream of liberal religious community, a tolerant and supportive environment in which we share our joys and concerns, except today, where people laugh and cry, and where we never need be alone in our grief or our delight. As members, we also take on the role of being stewards of this beautiful building, and we become part of an inner city community, giving of our time, talent, and treasure. Part of the beauty of this long dream that we keep is that it isn't a dream that it's just in our hearts or our minds. Our history is manifest all around us. And I don't know about you, but I feel like a part of this long line of keepers of this place. I can feel the past and I relish it. But I also feel, and the present, of course, but I also feel our future stretching out before us, thinking about those keepers to come. So if I've come to understand anything about anything from my own fairly long membership in this congregation, it's that what we do here is really important. And every member who becomes involved takes part in shaping the future that we want to see, as well as carrying the best parts of our history forward. So in that spirit, I would ask our new members that are going to be welcome today to come up. I will read their names. We have Camilla Brooks. I don't think Camilla Brooks is here today. Oh, darn it. Okay, Bethany Buffin. I saw Bethany. Come on up. We're just going to sort of line y'all up here like a firing squad or something. Here, we're going to just put you over there. Isaiah and Tony Ann Wong, Isaiah Kidney. We've got Jack Vitale. We've got Kirk Whiting, come on down. Jody Carruthers, Ed Rooney and Bet Lowe. I think that's everybody. Unless there's anyone else here who wants to sign up right now, I'll let you do it. You do, Mary Lou Henlon, come on down. You are the next contestant, and number 10, you win a special prize. I'm gonna do a little membership dance, doing a membership dance. That's 11. I love it when our members go up to 11. All right, Mary Lou's, she's coming. Are you caught in the pew? What's the matter, hon? All right, she's coming up. So glad. Is this just because I helped you move? I know people really appreciate when, I mean, you don't have to go crazy, but I thank you, Mary Lou. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. So we welcome you all here today. We are so grateful for each and every one of you that you have found your way here and that you have decided to make a commitment to our community. We hope that as members of this church that you will allow yourselves to be known and to know each other, to minister and to be ministered to love and to be loved by this congregation. We are glad that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with on your life's journey, and will you accept our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalist people who spread hope with our living faith? And will you engage with us as we seek to create beloved community and a world dedicated to peace and justice? All of those things. Yes. Outstanding. Okay, oh, thank you. And congregation, my congregation, will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add to your strengths and talents to the new gifts that they bring us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? Yes. Then, with the blessings of this congregation and all the ancestors of this church, I officially welcome you into this community of caring and trust. And if there are a couple of you, I will have you sign the book today and fill out your card, and I will send you home with door prizes. Yay! And we have something special today, because we've never done this before, but the Bedford Festival Theater is using our church for the last 2 weeks to practice the whiz. And we have 2 free tickets to raffle off. So we are going to put all of your names into this bucket over here, and at coffee hour or before coffee hour, we will choose a name. So I'm going to send you back to your seat so you can fill out the card with your name on it, and then we'll put it in. And whoever wins, you get 2 free tickets to go see The Wiz next weekend at some point. Yes. I don't know what the value is. I'm like, it's a $40 value. All right. So. This is what I'm going to do right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little introduction from our committee chairs or members that just so that everybody, because being part of this community means being active in this community, we hope. So we are going to give you just a really quick overview of some of the committees that are happening here that are active. And we're going to start with Steve, who we already heard from, our board president. but he is also the chair of our House and Grounds Committee. Thank you, Steve.
So they told me to be brief. House and Grounds is basically to deal with house and grounds. All the issues, or I was told not to use issues, that sounds bad. All the things that come up with the church physical plant and the grounds. And we try to make decisions, try to get things done, get estimates, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the Board of Trustees is the Board of Trustees. What do they do? They make decisions about the church. They decide on salary. They decide on the kind of the direction of the church in some ways, along with the congregation, because the congregation really tells us where we're going. I think that's it.
That's about perfect. Thank you. Carlton, you want to come give a quick couple of sentences about our endowment?
Gee, if I had known, I would have prepared a speech or something, you know. The endowment. Well, we still have plenty of money. Not for, not for long, though. There's going to be a more complete report, obviously, at the annual meeting. But we have, for the last decade and a half, we have a system that generates the income that we need. But the income is, the old system, the old formula where you would take 60% of your money and put it in growth, and the other 40% you would put in income, and then you would take the interest money that came in and spend that. But as we got less and less money, that system was not adequate to meet the needs of the church. So we adopted a new system, which has carried us for the last 15 years, where we have kind of basically, we're not a country, but like a balance of payments. We don't sell anything anymore, and we don't liquidate in the pretense that somehow we have money. Because when you sell things, they don't come back unless you buy them back. But right now, things are going well. We always need the congregation because the congregational contribution takes the weight of some of the things that we have to do, you know what I mean? And so some of the payment, we have to borrow less, and therefore, we have keep more invested. So, but if you have any questions or if you want to join the committee, just let me know. We are always looking for free labor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlton. Let's see. Larry, you want to come up and give us a quick, tell us about the garden, and he's also on the finance committee. Are you the chair of the finance committee? He's scowling, so that must mean yes.
My name is Larry. I think you all know that. I'm the chair of the Finance Committee, a dubious honor indeed. Our challenge is to seek and secure the funding to keep the church going, to keep the payroll going, keep utilities paid, insurance paid, small mechanical things paid. That's a big challenge. And we do it through the pledge, the annual pledge drive, which is going to start on July 1. We'll take your money before then if you want. And we'll have a brochure and a letter from Steve coming out soon. And that's basically it. It's called the operation budget. It's the one that, keeps everything going.
You want to give us a sentence about the garden?
And now I'm supposed to speak as Nancy Crosby, our chair, would. I can't do her voice, but Nancy is recovering from an accident, so she's not here today. The garden, the garden has had a series of needs, still has a series of needs every year, and we need a bigger committee. We need people who are willing to do things, even small things in the garden, help one afternoon a week. You can see if you walk and don't drive, walk up Union Street to County and look to your right, you'll see the beautiful daffodils several of us planted in December. And that's a new beginning. That's a good start to the new year. So, and we're going to convene the garden committee very shortly, not today, but soon, to discuss what we're going to do in the future. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. And thank you for the beautiful flowers today as well. Love them. Helena, you want to say a word about pledge fundraising? You. Ooh. Here, you can stand right there.
I think I'm Helena Hartnett, and I'm joined Larry on the Finance and Pledge Committee, and we are working on the brochure to get out in May, and we hope that everybody will make a pledge of whatever amount you're able, because it's really critical to sustaining this dream, as Karen always reminds us. So please be as generous as you possibly can when you get the pledge letter.
Thanks, Helena. All right, and thank you for all your work. We've got social justice. Eli, you want to come up and say something? You want to stand right there? Please be brief. I know, I did say it at the beginning. I'm just saying. We've got, okay. So we've still got about 4 people left.
Well, you know the drill, right? Hello, church.
Hello.
See, they're getting better. We're really getting this team going.
Right.
For those of you who joined today, thank you and hallelujah. It's a great, great sign. It's giving this church just what we need to see. So many people stand up. That's good. The Social Justice Committee is the activist committee in the church. We've matured. It's taken us a year to mature, to learn what it is to be in social justice. And some people are still learning. All of you are welcome to join the Social Justice Committee. Will members of the Social Justice Committee please stand up? Stand up, please. Come on. There's other people. Helena, stand up. Who else? Wait a minute, who else is in here? Okay. Okay, that's our committee. All right? Now, we believe in change. We see ourselves as the change agent of this church, and we are working very hard to make that happen. This week, you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff from us. We're going to be writing to you about all kinds of things. But please, those of you who are brand new to our church, again, welcome. Make sure that we have your email before you leave today. All right? Okay? All right, what else should I say? Let me see. Well, I want to tell you a story.
Thank you. Our Social Justice Committee is huge and growing, and we are so happy for that. Oh, yes.
So I leave to make food if anybody's wondering, like, why does this lady leave before the end of church? So the people in the kitchen are volunteers, and if you ever have like leftovers, you want to make a special dish, bring it in because everybody appreciates it. So off to heat up food.
Okay. Thanks, Rochelle. Rochelle is also on the Religious Education Committee, and we don't have anyone here to talk about that because they're all upstairs and just ran out the door. Judy, would you like to come and say a quick word about our Music Committee, which is a committee of you at this point? And maybe a word about our possible History Committee, or Historical Committee, which I'd love to see.
Well, I have to admit that I was surprised to find that I am the Music Committee. But it seems to happen here. In the 55 years that I've been member of this church, I think I have served every committee, a few of them several times. But we support Randy, we encourage Randy, we give Randy ideas. If you have ideas, come talk to me if you're interested in helping with that project. And the same is true about the history of the church. I labor occasionally on the history of the church because I am much concerned about the history of this whole community. And this church has been a large part of the community. And we have files upstairs. We have some other things that could be sorted. But if this intrigues you, come talk to me.
Thank you, Judy. Joan, you want to say a word about membership and outreach? Outreach, that's right. It's no longer called the Membership Committee. It's called the Outreach Committee.
Morning. I just want to say that we really appreciate you new members. We've had some rough times with the pandemic, and there's a new hope in the church. There really is, and we owe it to all of you. Anyways, I'm the chair of the Outreach Committee, and we have just finished our membership brochure. So we will be asking if people can distribute them. We only have so many, 500, which seems like a lot. And we want to put them in appropriate places. If you are at UMass Dartmouth or, I don't know, centers, I don't know if they're appropriate for a grocery store, but anywhere we think they might be looked at, because we feel, yes? Yes, yes. And so we are looking for that, for people. Just come up and ask, and I can give you some brochures. Also, we're doing outreach, and we would like to have people that have ideas about places we could put ads in. The newspaper, journals, the Wanderer, we have all those. So we really could use someone that is savvy with computers, so we can do that part of outreach, because that kind of is scary for me for some reason. But so we're looking forward to having you join us and possibly participate, but also just pass out the good word. Thank you.
Thanks, Joan. Pam, you want to say a word about the thrift store?
I'm Pam. Our church does have a thrift shop. It is manned by volunteers, so it's open just 2 days a week, Tuesdays 10 to 1 and Saturdays 10 to 1. The thrift shop is a major source of funding for this church. Thrift shops can only survive on the donations that they receive and also the things that people buy. We need both. Sometimes I'll have it open, or we'll have it open after church. I've been doing this for many years. I think people do what they like. So if there's anyone who would like to come and join us in the thrift shop, as I put in the compass the last time, we have some one-time needs too. It doesn't have to be an ongoing thing, but if one of them that I asked for was if you're interested in music, we have loads of records and tapes and things that need to be organized and culled, and that would be like a one-time job. Or we sell greeting cards, and those need to be put up. But at this point, I'd like the members of our thrift shop committee to stand, please. And I can't tell you how enjoyable it is working with all of them. Eileen, Thelma, Deb, Steve, and who got on Brownie.
Thank you. Eileen, do you want to say something as the chair of religious services? Come on up here. Go to that mic. It seems to be a little louder.
I'm Eileen, and I'm chair of the Religious Services Committee, and I work closely with Karen in planning the Sunday services throughout the year. It's an interesting committee, and we could probably use a couple more people on the committee. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, any plans on this? So I put these whiteboards up here. So if you are interested in one of these sorts of committees, I've got the dry erase markers. You can either write your name there, or I also have a bunch of sticky notes. And you can just put on the sticky note what you're interested in and stick it wherever you like. But we also have, like we said, the thrift store, kitchen for coffee hour, give people rides to and from church. This is a huge thing we really need some help with. Ushers and greeters for the back in front of the church at the beginning of our services, and to collect the collection. Publicity, which will go hand in hand with Jones Committee. Social media and tech. This is the first time in centuries we've ever needed something like this, but I'd really like to see it get off the ground, so Randy and I aren't the only one who knows to use how to use that box over there to record our services. History, as Judy said, pastoral care, we want to restart that committee. Labyrinth keepers. In case you haven't noticed, our labyrinth is slowly being eaten by our lawn. I would like some assistance with digging that out and restoring that. And last of all, we really need a choir. Who wants to be in a choir? We already have a choir, look at this. All right, awesome. So we'll talk about that next year. Next year we will have a choir. How's that? We'll work on it. Okay. So, now hold on, before we go, while all that was going on, I was filling out everybody's names here. Hold on. We'll give it to Pamela. You want to pick the name? Of course it's Camilla, who isn't here today. I'll let her know. Okay, my friends. Welcome, our 11 new members. Yes, Steve.
I just wanted to say, you'll notice that some people are on several committees, and you can be on several committees too.
Yes. Yeah, don't limit yourself. Absolutely. Spread yourself thin. Thin. No, don't spread yourself thin. We know what happens. Okay. Well, let's sing a song. Please rise if you are willing and able and sing with me hymn number 1. Hymn number 1.
May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the war and rain go by. By faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. The hearth through all the world grow chill will keep you warm. He shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and through these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in.
Thank you. Please be seated. It is the time in our service where we ask you for your kind donations toward the many good works of this church, and we thank you. J.S. Bach. All right. I can't tell this, I think this is my favorite service of the year. Especially when we have a bright bunch of shiny new members like this one to enter into our congregational family. How exciting! So I want to talk to you a little bit today about what it means to be a member and a steward of this church, and about the model of shared ministry that we employ here. And some of you might not be familiar with that. So I will explain a little bit about that. This idea has spread in lots of ways throughout virtually every Christian denomination. And there are references to the typical model of shared ministry in early Judeo-Christian writings. In Numbers 11, 10 through 30, there's a story of Moses complaining about the burden he had to carry in leading the Israelites through the wilderness. And God tells Moses to appoint 70 elders to share with the responsibilities of leadership. And of course, Jesus gathered his apostles and disciples to share his ministry, right? But the idea of it takes a village is a pretty old idea. The earliest humans who traveled in groups, everyone has to take a part, right? In order for everything to work, in order for you to survive. Many of the references about congregations moving toward this model I came across were from churches just like ours, old churches, churches that have gone like this over the years. And you know how lots of churches are just shrinking. Lots of churches have just simply closed because they can't pull off this kind of model. So what usually happens is you move to a part-time minister like me, and everyone else sort of helps, right? We slash our budget everywhere we can, and these kinds of models are becoming more common. One of the big features of shared ministry has to do with caring for one another personally, pastorally, which is personally, of course. So this can mean running support groups. It could be visits in someone's home to sit with them. It could be making phone calls, giving rides, like I said, a really important part of helping people get to church, getting to and from church. Checking on older members when it's too hot or too cold, watching the parking lot on a snowy day to see if someone needs an arm to help them from their car to the door. Those sorts of things are the kind of pastoral care we're talking about. But there's a whole lot more to ministering than pastoral care, though it certainly is a crucial element. We have committees for just about every aspect of church life, as you saw, from the garden to the kitchen to the sanctuary to upstairs in our RE space. And there's lots to get done if we want this church to be spiritually satisfying for everyone, beautiful inside and out, and to make sure all the little details get taken care of somehow, because there are a million little details. So sharing the work is part of our mutual ministry. Minister is a verb, people. Minister is a verb. Don't forget that. The shared ministry model in our UU churches often takes the form of something called gifts-based shared ministry, which means that everyone here takes stock of what they can offer the church to make it work, and do it joyfully, because it's sacred work. It's really good work. So this means that when you're here, look around, see what needs to be done, and if you can help. My stepson just turned 18, and of course, even earlier than this, they start, "Why don't you treat me like an adult? I'm an older kid now." And my answer is, when I don't have to ask you to do the dishes, you are an adult. When you can walk into the kitchen and go, "Oh my gosh, the sink is full of dishes and the counter really needs to be washed down," I'm going to do that because I'm an adult and I live in this house. Guess what? You have just entered adulthood. Congratulations. It still hasn't happened, but he's working on it. So I ask everybody here to give of themselves what they can, because I know every one of you has a talent that you can share with us, some kind of gift, right? And I ask you to be open to coming to the table with us and exploring what your gifts might be, stretching your imagination and doing whatever needs to be done because you see it needs to be done. Now let's talk for a moment about membership and stewardship. One aspect of our membership is the annual pledge drive, of course, which is how we know how much money we'll have to budget every year and what we can depend on. Now, I love to talk about this in terms of public radio. So I love the model of fundraising that NPR uses because it only asks of you what you can give, if you can give, while giving all that it has to you, even if you don't give. Absolutely crazy model for fundraising, right? But it works. The model is basically, I will give you this incredibly awesome thing, and if you think it's of value to you, place a value on it and give us some money, please. It's that simple, right? And to me, this church and its people and its programming are even more essential than public radio, and that's saying a lot for me. I am a public radio junkie. For every driveway moment I've sat through, you know, when you just have to listen to the end of that intriguing story that you're listening to on NPR, there have been moments of bliss and clarity and purposefulness right here in this church for me, while listening to a piece of music from Randy, like that fugue from Bach we just heard, or an inspired sermon by someone other than me, or a well-timed reading, or a brilliant conversation at coffee hour, or walking the labyrinth, or playing with the kids in the churchyard. There is tangible value here. I feel it in our commitment to compassion, to social justice, and to equity. I see it in the faces who visit our thrift shop. I hear it in the laughter of our way cool Sunday school kids. I smell it in the beautiful, glorious flowers in our garden. And I taste it in the delicious coffee that Eli provides for us. Thank you very much for stepping up that coffee game. If you appreciate Sunday services here, if you love Randy and his music, Yasmin and the Sunday school, our sextons and office staff, our newsletter, the small groups and the programs, the fellowship and the friends, the support of a spiritual community, if you love all this, and if you want it to help us expand our programming and maintain this beautiful building, then I ask, what is it worth to you? We are all stewards here. And that means trying all we can to ensure that these treasures of ours will be treasures of the people in the future, the next generation. Public radio asks you to put a value on something that's a little less tangible than what happens here. Something that seems not to exist until you actively turn your radio on, right? So although our pledge drive is similar to how public radio works, we have the actual stewardship of a real piece of architectural history. The term castle is not just a tongue-in-cheek here. Look around. We have a giant castle in the middle of downtown New Bedford. It is way more imposing than most churches in New England, which tend to be a little more simple, with the exception of our fancy friends in Fairhaven who have an even fancier church than this, right? We are quite literally stewards of this building and this history, which is so precious. We love it, and it's really important to us. So that is the reality alongside the dream that we talk about, right? And we are keepers of both. We are keepers of this physical reality. So you will be receiving a pledge card right about May 1st, and I encourage you to give what you can within your means. Our pledge season runs from July to July, like a fiscal year. So don't overextend yourself. I don't believe in give until it hurts. I just believe that everyone should give, and if everybody did give a little bit, then we'd go a lot further. So today we welcomed 11 new members, and that is awesome. Oh my gosh, I am just so happy. New members bring new ideas, they bring new energy and new life to us here. Expanding this beloved community is super important to me, not just to try and bring this beautiful church into the next generation, but because I know that there are so many people out there who would love us and who we would love that haven't found us yet, right? Oh, we light a candle every week for those who haven't found a welcoming and safe space to share their true selves with and expand their hearts and minds. I want people to know that this is that safe space, and it's full of smart and funny and kind, loving people. I love this place. A congregation, my friends, is a living thing. It goes through phases in its history, growing and changing all the time. It is a living body created by the people who inhabit it, who choose to be stewards here, if only for a limited time. What we feed it, the energy we put into it, determines whether we can thrive and what comes out of it. We have had a pretty good year here. We've had decent attendance in person and online. I think most of you don't know how many people. There are usually more people that watch us online every week that come to church. Anywhere between 30 and 50 people watch our services a week. That's cool. Yes. Yes. We also had an unexpected influx of cash from a movie that they wanted to shoot here. And, we always say, well, geez, the money's not just going to fall out of the sky. Well, this year it did. Who knew? Thank you. We will take that $50,000, whatever it was, and put it to really good use. Pay some bills that have been long overdue, maybe. We haven't had any deaths in our congregation this year. Love that. That's incredible. And now we have 11 new members to share in this ministry. And that is really refreshing and inspiring to me. And it's going to take the dedication of all of us to keep growing and moving forward. We are all keepers of this dream, church, a dream of liberal religion and the search for truth, justice, and fairness in our communities, of fellowship with kindred spirits and seekers, of progress and diversity in our spiritual home, of the growth and change that will inspire the next generation to want to be keepers of this dream. This is precious, what we have here, precious. And I sure would like to see it blossom and grow with your help. So what do you say, church? You ready to bring whatever you've got to the table and share it with us? Yes. Yes? Are you excited about what we can do if we work hard enough? Yes. Awesome, so am I. Let's start right now. Okay? All right. Amen to that, my friends. Amen. All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Let me, let's see. Well, now I lost where we were going. Here we are. Closing hymn. If you will stand, if you are willing and able, and sing with me, Forward Through the Ages, number 114, 114.
Of one accord, manifold the service, one the sure reward. Forward through the ages, in unbroken line, move the faithful spirits at the call divine. For it we must labor till our faith in sight. Prophets have proclaimed it, martyrs testified, poets sung its glory, heroes for it died. Forward through the ages, in unbroken line, move the faithful spirits at the call divine. Not alone we conquer, not alone we fall. In each loss or triumph, lose or triumph all. Bound by God for purpose, in one living whole, move we on together to the shining goal. Forward through the ages, in unbroken line, move the faithful spirits at the call divine.
Thank you. Pamela Bullard would like to say something before we finish up here. Come on up, Pam. Have a seat. Go ahead. Sit down.
Hi. If everybody who was here last week, you saw that we had a really great Poetry Sunday. And if you missed it, what I'd like to do is get all those online. And I have a couple of people already sent me what they wrote. If you weren't there and you want to send what you wrote, we got a lot of good poets who weren't there last week. Colin, Beth, Eileen, I'm sure there's a lot more of you. So anybody who wants to just send it. Now, I announced last week my Gmail, but that's kind of hard to remember. But I'll say it again, pbullard100@gmail. And this is the only agreement you're making, is that we're going to make a little book, and probably we'll send people the little book and they can print it. So it won't be a complicated thing. And we have some good artists in here, too, if anybody wants to draw a picture or anything like that. So thanks to everybody who participated, and to Rick and Ayala?
Kayla.
Kayla.
Yes.
Rick and Kayla who organized it last week. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Pamela. If you want, as a backup, people can send things to the office, too, if they'd like. Just mark them for the poetry book. Okay, our closing words are from Laurelyn Bellamy. If here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another that they may come true. If you have known love, give some back to this bruised and hurting world, church. Go in peace. Hold fast, my church. We love you. Stay strong. Live long and prosper. Go in peace. Love and serve. We'll see you at coffee hour.
tapping me on